What's up YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we would sit down and have a little chit chat about skincare, about what my skincare routine looks like. And yeah, I've learned a lot about my skin in the last couple weeks, which is what has inspired me to do this video. And I'm really excited to share it with you. So let's dive right in. So before we get started, hello, how are we? It is a Thursday afternoon on my side of the world, just about to have some lunch, but it's been a bit of a weird week because we've gone back into lockdown, which has been my first normal life lockdown that I've really experienced. During the first worldwide lockdown, I was on a boat, so it was a very different experience because we were quite used to being stuck on the boat with all of our crew members for weeks on end. So yeah, this is, like I said, I've been really lucky that I haven't had to experience too many lockdowns being in New Zealand. But yeah, this is a new experience. Anyway, that was just a rundown of what is happening here. Not that it's very much because we're just staying home. However, the downside is that last week Friday, we ran out of gas at home. And that means no hot water. Also no stovetop, which we've been able to work around that one because our oven still works, thank goodness. But no hot water has been a bit of a struggle. And at first I thought it was going to be fine because I was going to be able to shower at the gym, which I did for the first few days. But then lockdown happened. We still have no gas. It's only arriving tomorrow and I cannot wait. Cannot wait. The main reason, well, obviously our showers, cold water, and we're still in winter over here, so that's not fun. But the other part is my skincare routine. Washing your face with freezing cold water every morning and every night has not been fun at all. I have not enjoyed it, and I can't wait to have our warm water back. And I will be super grateful for it when it finally does come back. But anyway, speaking about that is what we'll be chatting about today, is my skincare routine. And it has taken a little bit of a change over the past couple of weeks. I've just added in a couple more products, which I'm really excited to talk about because I've learned so much about my skin and just skin in general over the last couple of weeks. So to give you a little bit of a backstory, about a month ago, I didn't know why, but I was breaking out in really painful pimples. I've been really lucky in my life that I haven't dealt with much acne. I've had pretty clear skin besides the odd pimple flare up here and there, but I've been really lucky with my skin. And so to wake up every morning, and every morning I was having these really big, really painful pimples pop up, a new one every day. And I had no idea why. It's never happened before. It was really stressing me out. It was not a fun experience at all. And about a couple months before that, I'd accidentally bought the wrong cleanser. I generally use a gel type cleanser, and I'd bought one of those milkier cleansers. I thought that was what was causing me to break out. So went down to my day spa to go buy my regular cleanser, which they just so happened to not have in stock at the time. And I think that just kind of tipped me over the edge while I was there. And I might have had a minor meltdown just from not knowing what to do with my skin. One of the ladies was so lovely. She came over and spoke to me, and she was like, what's the issue? What's been happening with your skin? And I explained it to her, and I was like, I bought the wrong cleanser and it's causing me to break out. And she just was like, firstly, you're not breathing properly. Just take a breath, big breath in. This doesn't sound like a cleanser problem. I was like, nothing else has changed. I explained to her that my diet hasn't changed. I drink plenty of water. I don't eat sugary foods, all those things that you hear that contribute towards bad skin. None of those, nothing else had changed. And she just, from all of that, said to me, how are your stress levels right now? And well, that was just like the little flick that just, sent me over the cliff. And I just about bawled my eyes out to this poor lady who I had just met because I was clearly very, very stressed. It had been a super stressful time at work. It's been super, super busy in my industry because of COVID. My industry's just like peaked. I'm an interior designer, for those people who don't know. And so a lot of people have been spending money on their houses, and it's been a little bit overwhelming with, it's a great thing because we've had so much business, but it's been a little bit stressful trying to get through all the work, which I hadn't considered. And she made it quite clear to me that stress is a very big indicator or a very big contributor to bad skin. She reminded me that I wasn't breathing properly. She's like, your cortisol levels are probably very, very high right now. And that is just sending a chain reaction of different hormones through your body. And it's clearly showing in your skin. So she said, come through for a skin consult. We'll have a chat about your concerns and we'll help you out. So that was the little backstory. And that leads me to our little chat today about what my skincare routine looks like now. So for starters, I managed to get my regular skincare back. It came back in stock the following week. So I use a brand called ENVIRON, which is a South African brand, but it is distributed around the world. It's usually a little bit difficult to find, but absolutely worth it. It's particularly good for the Southern Hemisphere climates. So that was the first thing that I learned. Oh, we're all good. So that was the first thing that I learned when it comes to your skin, is that you need to be looking for products that cater to the climate that you're in. I've spent so long thinking that, you know, these amazing products from France or from America or wherever would be the best way to go, because that's what I see through other influencers, through, you know, my travels. I always thought that like the more expensive the skincare product, the better it would be for your skin. And I've come to learn that that is not necessarily the case. If you're buying products from a different country to yours, more often than not, they have a different climate to yours. So they're not catering for the climate that your skin is exposed to. And so luckily, South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand have got very similar climates. Being in the Southern Hemisphere, we're kind of along the same lines of latitude. We experience a very similar climate. All have very intense sun, and so sun protection is a must. And so that's why I've stuck to a South African product that I've been using for over a year now, probably almost 2 years that I've been using this product for now, and it has hands down been the best product that I've ever used. So this is my cleanser. This is the Skin EssentiA range, which is the orange range. They've got a few, but this is kind of for your everyday skin types. They highlight the A because it's packed full of vitamin A, which is super good for not sun protection, but it helps against the damage caused from the sun, which is really good for climates like South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand, because we have a very intense sun, which can create a lot of skin problems. And so the vitamin A just helps replenish what the sun is breaking down, and also interrupts the process of breaking down your collagen. And so super good all around for your skin. Definitely recommend looking for a product that has got vitamin A in it, because your skin thrives off of it. Like I said, I bought the wrong cleanser and it was doing nothing for me. So my skin type, I've got a T-zone. So oily forehead, oily T-zone, drier cheeks. I find that the cleansing gel works better for me. The like hydrating, the milkier cleanser, I don't find combats the oil enough. But because this is a low flow, but because this is a low foaming cleansing gel, it doesn't strip away all of the oils unnecessarily, because stripping them away just ends up drying out your skin and doing way more damage. So you don't want to strip them all away. So first things first, warm water, and I use my cleanser. I currently don't use a toner at all. I am looking more into toners, but what I'm doing, which I have read don't quote me on this, but I have read helps and it seems to work for me, is that I cleanse my face with warm water, and then at the end, when I've gotten all of the soap off, is I rinse it off with cold water, because warm water opens up your pores and cold water closes them back down. And so I've heard that it's essentially the same thing as a toner. Toner is probably better, but that works for me, like I said. The next thing that I do after rinsing down my skin and patting it dry with a towel is, this is one of the new products that I have got from the skincare lady that I spoke to you about, and that is, it's an Intense C boost. So it is a cream that has got vitamin C in it. I just use a teeny tiny little drop, like a pearl size drop, and this she recommended for me to use on all of my dry areas. So when we did my consultation, she pointed out that my forehead and around my eyes are particularly dry, and it's where my fine lines are starting to come in. So my collagen levels are starting to go down a little bit, and this bad boy helps it to not deplete that quickly, as far as I know. Vitamin C really helps with your collagen levels and helps boost them rather than deplete them. And so paired with a vitamin A, it just makes for a really, really good combo. And this I've only been using on the areas where I see fine lines or dryness, essentially. So we'll give an update on how I'm finding this, but so far it feels great. It really does. And the last step of my daytime routine is that I mix my moisturizer with my sunscreen. So my moisturizer is still part of the Skin EssentiA range, same as my cleanser. ENVIRON has got a few different levels for their moisturizers. So I think it goes up to 4 or 5, it might be. I'm on number 3. So I've been using it for a little while, and so it starts off with like, it's a really subtle moisturizer, and you kind of work your way up as your skin starts to adapt to it. So what I do in the mornings is I just put a little squirt of this on my fingers and I mix it with some of this. This is my SPF, my sunscreen, which, to be honest, the only reason why I bought this brand is because it was on special at my laser clinic, but it has been really great. It is an Australian brand, so again, my skin does thrive off of that because it's a similar climate that I'm in. The reason why I mix these two is because this one is super, super thick, and I come out looking like a ghost if I just had to wear this one by itself. So by mixing it, I just find it to be a much better consistency. I used to be really, really bad with sunscreen, and I am good with it in the summer, not in the winter, which is really silly, let's be honest. The sun doesn't, it's still really intense in winter. And a fact that I didn't know that my skincare specialist told me was that the sun depletes your vitamin A in your skin, which makes sense now that I've done more research about it. And so she was like, you're basically putting this moisturizer on, putting vitamin A on your skin, and then walking outside and the sun is taking away all that effort that you just put in. So sunscreen is super, super, super important. Super important. And I need to be better with it. And this is me saying that I am going to be better with it from now on. So that is what I do for my daytime routine. I never used to use this moisturizer at night, but after speaking to her, I've recently found out that it is more important to put this on at night because your skin does most of its absorption at night. And so this one's super important for my nighttime routine, which leads me to my nighttime routine. Very similar to my daytime routine, but again, we've got my cleanser that I use. Yep, same thing there. Then put on my moisturizer to get my vitamin A in, and then I top it off with my nighttime mask. So this is a different brand. It's called Glow Recipe. So this is an American brand, but I have just found that it worked beautifully. I've been using it for about a year now, and I'd never used a nighttime mask before. And I came across this meme that said that if you're old enough to remember, I can't even remember what it was. It was a 90s reference. Yeah, really can't remember what it was. But it was basically like, if you're old enough to remember the 90s, then it is time to start using a night mask or a night cream. And I thought, I probably should start using a night cream. So I found this one at Mecca Max, which is like, kind of like Sephora. And it's amazing. It feels so smooth and so buttery on your skin. So it's an avocado melts sleeping mask with retinol in it. So it's like this, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like this green buttery texture, and it just like disappears into your skin. And it just feels like the most hydrating thing you've ever put on your face. It's wonderful. And I can say that I've seen such a difference in my skin since using it. So the benefits of a night mask is just that it is super hydrating for your skin. It really helps with any dryness that you've got in your skin, helps with fine lines, you know, just the prevention of them getting worse, because it's just packing in the moisture while you're sleeping. So, I mean, we don't like having that on our face during the day. Doesn't bother me at night. I find that this one's not too thick, which is what I really like about it, but I still find that it's super, super hydrating. So yeah, that was the Glow recipe from, the avocado melt from Glow recipe. And I really couldn't recommend it more. I actually struggled to find it in New Zealand when I had to top it up, and I ordered it from the US because it's so good. So highly recommend that one. And then the last thing that I wanted to chat about was omegas. So something that I found out from one of my friends on one of the yachts that I worked on. She was a beauty therapist who had learned a lot about skin during her studies. And she, which I have always seen in myself, but she noticed that I have, while I don't break out, I've got so many little pimples underneath the layers of the skin, which not a lot of other people see, but they definitely bug me. And she said that that is because while my skin is oily on the outside, it's still dehydrated. And all of that hydration is not going to come from a moisturizer. It needs to come from my diet, from my water intake. I need to be hydrating internally to help my skin out. So that's what I did. I upped my water intake, and I kind of didn't really know where else to go from there. I definitely saw a change because she also recommended a bunch of products to me that she said would help with that, which they definitely did. But that was another reason why I was breaking out so much, as I've learned with my last skin consultation. Again, I'm not hydrating enough. And so my skin specialist said to me, how are you hydrating your skin? So I said, I pack on the moisturizer, I use a night mask, and I drink plenty of water. And she was like, that's great. Like, carry on doing those things. But are you getting enough omegas? And now, for anybody who knows me and has been following my journey for a little while, you would know that I'm trying to get all of my essential vitamins, my essential minerals from my whole foods diet. And so I said to her, like, yep, we eat salmon, once a week. We make our little protein balls that have flax seeds in them. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm getting enough. And she told me something really interesting, which I'm researching more into. But she was like, that's great that you're eating your salmon, but because a lot of salmon is farmed these days, it's no longer considered a deep sea fish, and so it doesn't have as many essential fatty oils and as many omegas as it used to. And so if you're trying to get your oils from fish, you more likely want to be getting them from sardines or from mackerel, which I don't eat. So she's like, more than likely, you're not getting enough omegas in your diet, and that's quite evident in what she read in my skin. And so as much as I don't like taking supplements, I've started taking an omega-3 and 6 supplement, because if I'm not getting enough from my diet, it's clearly lacking from my system. And so I've just been drizzling this onto my food once a day. She's given me the oil version rather than the capsules. Super important is to not cook with it. She's like, it's not an olive oil. You don't want to heat it because that's going to deplete any goodness from it. So pretty much just drizzle it on like you would over a salad. And it tastes like nothing. I can't even tell that it's in there. She said even add it to a smoothie, and that would even be a great option. So that's just to show you what it is. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. That's not even, no, that's not showing. So add it to a smoothie, add it to a salad. I added it on my chicken curry last night. Like I said, can't even tell that it's there. And so I'm hoping that I'm going to be seeing big results from adding this to my diet. I will be doing a kind of review in a couple months' time to see how my skin has changed after implementing the vitamin C serum and the omega oils. And I'm really hoping that I come back to you with really great results. But what I can say is that I'm no longer getting those really painful pimples, because it really, breaking down in that day spa really helped me analyze where I was at with my stress levels. And so just a couple other little takeaways that I've learned from breaking down in the day spa and through my chat with her and through my year of really taking the time to learn about my skin and actually have a proper skincare routine. Number one, and this is thanks to my breakdown, is acknowledge your stress. Stress wreaks such havoc on your body. It really just messes with so many things going on in your body, and trying to find ways to combat your stress is really going to help with so many things. Your skin being one of them, which I hadn't even considered would be one of those things. Since having a look at my breathing, acknowledging my stress, when I feel that I'm stressed, when I'm getting stressed out, I've started taking in a couple deep breaths, because I'm realizing that my cortisol levels are higher and deep breathing helps lower them again. Taking 2 seconds to, like I said, acknowledge your stress and just help lower your stress levels a little bit will be such a game changer. I've seen such a difference in my mood when I get home, my skin, my appetite. I'd completely lost my appetite when I was letting my stress levels consume me. And since acknowledging them, I've been so much happier all around. My skin has stopped flaring up. Yeah, got my appetite back. I just acknowledge it. Even if there's not much you can do about it, finding a release by exercise, going for a little walk, doing a little mini meditation, even take yourself to the bathroom and do like a 2-minute meditation. I don't know if you're at work, that is something that's been recommended to me. Just acknowledging it is the first step and will help you figure out how to cope with it a little bit better. The second thing is more for my active ladies out there. One of my ways of combating stress is by going to the gym and having like a full out session, which you're sweating a lot in the more active you are. And that can also contribute towards a flare up in your skin. And so the first thing I do when I'm done with a session and I'm able to go home, first thing I do is I have a shower, wash my face, even all over my skin, because I've experienced flare-ups around my body. Get into the shower, cleanse your skin, get all that bacteria, all that sweat off of your body, and just get it back to its clean state again. And that should prevent a lot of dirt buildup in your pores and around your skin. And the last point is sunscreen. Sunscreen, sunscreen, sunscreen. I totally get that sunscreen feels awful when it's on your body. I'm not a fan of sunscreen, but you do kind of get used to it over time. And acknowledging that even if you just put it on your face, it's a great step, like carry on doing that, but that we need to be using it elsewhere. I was really good about putting it on my face and not on my chest. And I've seen such a difference between how my chest looks and how my skin looks. In terms of my chest has started aging way quicker than my face has. And so treating all the different parts of your body the same is going to be super vital. Protect your skin from the sun. As much as it's not going to give you like as much of a beautiful tan, which, I mean, I'm definitely not the most tan person around, but I know that I'm looking after my skin, and at the end of the day, that's what's most important. And the last point, because I forgot about this one, is drink your water. Water is so important for your skin, for your hair, for your organs, for everything. But when I started drinking more water than I did coffee or soft drinks or energy drinks, my skin just started thriving. It started glowing. It felt better. Just everything about it was just boosted. Water is going to be your savior when it comes to your skin. So that wraps up this video on what my skincare routine looks like. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I can't wait to see you again next time.